Hello and welcome to Billy the Batboy's Corner, presented by Up On Game. I'm Billy Pinckney, and today's special guest here on the show is Justin Wylie, somebody who I've known for quite a few years. Played for the New Jersey Jackals the past couple seasons, the team I worked for, and he's got a great story, a very talented ball player, and someone who's playing in the World Baseball Classic for Team Great Britain. So let's get right into it. Here's Justin Wylie. All right, guys, we're here alongside Justin Wylie. Justin, appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so University of Arizona, and you majored in what we're doing right now, right? Media, broadcasting, journalism.
Yeah, I got my master's in journalism.
That's awesome. So tell me how you got your start, not only in baseball, but in what we're doing right now and potential future career of yours.
Yeah, so I grew up in Chandler, Arizona. Great baseball state as well as town. So I started playing baseball when I was 4, came up through a great system with Hamilton High School here in Chandler. The coaching staff did a great job getting us ready for the next level. And then out of high school, I went to San Diego State, played collegiately there. I ended up grad transferring to University of Arizona, where I got my master's, like we were just saying, I got my master's in journalism. And then from there on, I've been in professional baseball.
So tell me about being at the University of Arizona and being from Arizona. I mean, that must have been pretty special for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the timing of it throughout my college career. It was almost like a little homecoming to wrap up my collegiate baseball career. The staff over there with Jay Johnson, Dave Lawn, Sergio Brown, Mark Winaka, they were amazing. I'll say it every single time. They're the best coaching staff in the country. They really know how to develop players, and I grew into the player I am today over there at University of Arizona.
Right. So you went undrafted. Were you expecting to be drafted at that time or no?
Yeah. So in regards to like my age, I was 22. I was a grad student, so I knew I would have to play really well to get a chance to get drafted later in the rounds. I did really well to finish on my senior year, so I was expecting maybe a call later in the draft or a free agent opportunity. Unfortunately, that didn't come about, so now we have a different route.
Well, I remember talking to Brooks Carey, the manager of the New Jersey Jackals, way back a couple years ago, and he mentioned to me when we were trying to find some players that you were somebody who was interested in coming here and just looking for an opportunity to play and prove what you could do at the professional level. So can you tell me about when you found out about the Jackals and playing professional baseball?
After I didn't get drafted, because of the way my college career finished, I knew I had more in the tank. So I wanted to, exhaust all efforts to try and make it to the big leagues. And it was funny. I actually was emailing every independent team throughout like the top 3 leagues, and Brooks responded to my email like that. We hopped on a call in probably 48 hours, and we were able to get me signed to play in New Jersey.
And it looked like the transition for you wasn't that difficult, at least when you look at the stats and everything. I mean, you had 2 solid years in professional baseball. What were some of the major differences for you, if there were any?
Throughout college, everyone plays summer ball with a wood bat, so it's not really that big of a difference when it comes to swinging a piece of lumber. I think the biggest difference would have to be playing every single day, being able to manage how your body feels, making sure you're getting the right treatment, you're still getting your workouts in. And then also just the mental grind of not succeeding each and every day. It's in college, you play 3-4 times a week, and pro ball, you play 6-7 times a week. So you're not always going to be feeling your best, but you also have to be able to grind out those good at-bats each and every night.
And something I noticed with you too is that you had a better second year, I think, than your first year of pro ball. It didn't have any type of sophomore slump, or sometimes we see players who, after the first season, maybe their training methods change and it didn't work out for some guys. But for you, did you have some type of training workout program that maybe you worked out with some guys who were in pro ball before that really helped you out?
Yeah, it's great because here in Arizona, I'm surrounded by some of the best baseball players in the world. I train with them every off season. But in regards to my training from my first to second year, I I wouldn't say I worked out harder than I usually do because I always work out really hard, but or I changed my swing. I didn't change my swing at all. I think the biggest difference was my mental approach to the game. After the first year, I kind of figured out, okay, these are the things that I do well. These are the things that I need to improve on throughout an at bat, not necessarily my mechanical swing, but laying off that high and inside pitch with two strikes because it looks good, but it's a tough pitcher's pitch to hit. So maturing as a baseball player, I think, was what allowed me to have some success in my second year as well.
And I remember, seeing you on the on deck circle, walking up to the plate. You're focused, in that mindset. What would you say to the younger players who are trying to get into that mindset of getting locked in, and maybe they have some distractions outside of their head that they're letting seek in, and maybe preventing them from being truly focused on the at bat and task at hand?
It is really tough. And one thing that I feel like helps me get locked in or just right there in the present moment is having a routine, whether it's what I do on deck circle, how I walk up to the plate, how I dig into the box before every pitch, after every pitch. It kind of becomes repetitive. So after 100 games, when you do it, you have a checklist. So once you check everything off those boxes, it's almost like you're having an out-of-body experience, and then you're just locked into getting your pitch and driving it.
I do want to touch on now an exciting opportunity that you have is playing the World Baseball Classic for Great Britain. And we talked about this at the end of the year. You're heading over to Germany, but I'd like to get the story of how it all came about. When did you first realize that you had this opportunity and you qualified to play for the team?
Yeah, I think it started in my first year with New Jersey. Demetrius Moore and Todd Isaacs were talking about it, and I didn't quite really understand what was going on, but they were saying, oh, you might actually be eligible. And then off season happens. This second year, it was just me and Todd Isaacs on the team, and he mentioned it again, saying, oh, yeah, the qualifiers this year. And so I started doing a little bit more research, contacted my family, and I contacted the manager, Drew Spencer, and it was about right after the All-Star break in July. I get an email back from Drew saying, yeah, it looks like you are eligible. We would love to have a little bit more information on you, if you could send some stuff in. And luckily, Brad Marcelino, he's our hitting coach / bench coach for the GB baseball team, and I had played against him while he was the third base coach at University of San Diego while I was at San Diego State. So we already had a mutual, knowing who we are. So we were in contact. We sent everything into MLB. I got approved, and I was on a flight to Germany.
That's awesome. And you had a really good series as well of a few games. I mean, help lead them to victory. Can you take me through getting there, being in the lineup, and just doing what you did?
First off, getting there was a little bit harder than I was expecting. I've never experienced jet lag before, and that was the first time that I was really messed up for 2-3 days. But we had a great mini camp. We were able to get our feet under us, get some swings in, ground balls, pretty much size up how our team's going to look. And from that moment in the mini camp, I was like, okay, we have some guys. I think we had the most affiliate players throughout the tournament. And then day of the first game against France, I got called in to T.S. Reed. He's our third base coach. He called me into his hotel room and pretty much said I was going to start at third base and bat number 4 in the lineup. So I was just, really pumped to get underway. My first international competition, especially in the World Baseball Classic. I wouldn't have been able to say that I knew that was going to happen a year ago, but, just doing anything to win it was a different experience. During the summer, you want to play for your stats, you want to play to win, but, you want to play as well as you can. But this opportunity in Germany was amazing because we're just pulling for every single guy next to you, and you're just trying to win each game no matter what.
Yeah, it's funny because you played against some guys who were in the league that you played in throughout the summer. And how would you rate the competition in that qualifier?
Yeah, it was really good competition. A lot of guys from different countries, a lot of different styles, but also a lot of mature baseball players. We had a lot of experience on the field, so not only talent, but guys that know how to play the game right. Luckily, in our dugout, we had a lot of help when it comes to scouting reports. We had a lot of experience on our side as well. So I think the biggest thing for us was being able to mesh together quickly and then just let our talent take over.
So you guys did advance. So what are the next steps for you guys come 2023?
Yeah, so initially we thought because we clinched, we were going to go to either Taiwan or Tokyo, but we woke up last Wednesday or sometime last week, and we found out that we're going to be in the Phoenix pool. So that's Pool C with Team USA, Canada, Mexico, Colombia. And so right now we're all just preparing, getting our bodies right, making sure we stay sharp. So in February, we're going to have a mini camp again to bring the team together. We're going to have a few new players from the big leagues, and then we're going to, just come together again, mesh, and compete in that pool right there.
Yeah, it's coming back to Arizona once again, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's about 20 minutes from where we're doing this interview right now, so I'll be right at home.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then Jazz Chisholm, I think, will be playing with you guys as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of the first big leaguers to commit. So I'm really excited to get to know Jazz on a personal level and to compete and be his teammate.
Is Todd Isaacs hopping along as well?
Yeah, so I've been talking with Todd, and he's pumped for it too. So he's training hard, and it's going to be great to be his teammate once again.
So him and Jazz, both of them, they also help out with the Don't Blink Home Run Derby. I know you went down there last year, and it looked like an awesome time. How would you describe the atmosphere there and hitting balls into the water?
Yeah, so I actually knew about it from social media from previous years, and when Todd was telling me about it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. I wasn't expecting nothing much, maybe a vacation in the Bahamas, but Todd, Lou, Jazz, they put on one of the sickest, most professional events that I could have ever imagined. They have everything down to a science when it comes to that event, from like the entertainment, travel, logistics, hospitality. The Bahamas is an unbelievable place, and they make it really just like a fantasy land.
Great stuff. But before we wrap up, I do want to get some more messages for the younger kids out there. I know the minor league life isn't easy to deal with. How would you describe it, for the young kids who might be looking to play pro ball one day?
It's definitely a grind. You have to really love the game, and you have to really have not just the desire and motivation, because at some time that's going to dwindle away, but you have to have the discipline to know each and every day you're going to be in the lineup or you're going to have an opportunity to throw on the mound. You have to be able to bring it for the guys next to you, not just for yourself, but you have to be able to compete to help the team win and, to showcase your talent. So ultimately everyone's goal is to get to the big league. So having the combination of motivation, discipline, and work ethic, that's what's going to get you there. There's no guy that got to the big leagues by chance. Everyone has earned it, and everyone has those three things.
Great stuff. And you got to enjoy bus rides too.
Yeah, exactly. Better get ready to get comfortable on a bus ride for a few hours.
Yeah, I went back. I was editing a lot of stuff from the season, mic'd up footage. I remember you saying every time I'm on the bus, some part of my body's going to hurt after I get off.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be able to work with the lower back pains, the hamstring tightness, but that's also part of the grind too, knowing how to get your body right.
Great stuff. Justin, I appreciate it. Thank you for hopping on, and best of luck with Great Britain. I can't wait to watch it.
Absolutely. Thanks. Appreciate it.
We'd like to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Billy the Batboy's Corner, presented by Up On Game. Another great story right here. Justin Wylie spent a few years in professional baseball, is still doing his thing now with Great Britain in the World Baseball Classic, and we're excited to see how he does come March of 2023, playing in the home state of Arizona. And if you'd like to learn more about what we're doing here with Billy the Batboy's Corner and Up On Game, be sure to check us out on social media at Billy the Batboy, at Up On Game Network. rate, review, subscribe, and don't forget, we're supporting the Father English Center in Paterson, New Jersey. So be sure to always support us in what we're trying to do to help out the community and the young baseball players out there. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.